Out once again.
Ari, Zhao, obviously very straightforward, 2v2, really strong, can set up for one another very, very well. I do think that the Ari might struggle when we get to the later stage of the game. I think that, again, barring the Jinx, Showmaker is in a pretty good position here. Dplus composition with the added front line of the Cassante and the amount of mobility that they have, I do think, particularly if they can snowball, do have a great shot at pressuring T1. But when I look at the amount of late game power just with that Jinx and the amount of zone control there is, like Zhao, right, is able to peel very aggressively, Fresh is self-explanatory, and then combine it with the cannon, I do think that if T1 is allowed to actually get to the later stage of the game, you'll be in trouble.
As slowly but surely our bottom lane meta once again returns to just a bit of a farm fest. It's been very active in the beginning of spring here for like the first 7 or 8 weeks. But I feel like now with the Jinx buffs, we'll probably return to a bit more of normalcy at the LCK.
It also ties into this game. We had 480 carry bands, right? And I wonder whether we're going to see that level of priority. Dplus went for it because the lane thus far not looking too odd. Canyon is going to maybe look for something here. We do see Zeus is aware.
She's got a nice angle. Kellen going in, but this is Zyra Khan. Very curious about the top side as well. I say that, but Oner is already down here in bottom lane, essentially, looking for a gank as, speaking of which, Canyon looks like he is going to go for a back.
Oh, there we go.
Oh boy, here comes T1 once again. Setting up for a 4-man dive, potentially looking for the hook first. He is going to land it straight onto the Xayah, and down he goes. First blood handed over to Faker.
And that is a best case scenario because we also get the teleport out from Showmaker, right, to try and salvage the play. That didn't end up working out. And now he still has to back, then has to walk back to mid. Great use of prioritization from Faker. And the top side, nothing happened, right? Zeus is fine. Was a Cannon who was full health against the Cassante with like 20-30%. So I think Canyon saw that and was like, does Ignite, courtesy of Spellbook. So that helps a little bit, but not a lot. Oner is a little bit low. Showmaker's just farming up Oner.
Here we go again. Miss on the Sonic Wave as over the wall comes Faker looking to go onto Canyon here, it looks like, as flash out of Canyon. But look at Showmaker. He is going to get the kill onto Oner, but the roam from the bottom lane comes in. That will be a kill, but Faker looking to go down here. The damage will turn in as Canyon is given over to Guma now as a trade from the bottom lane is happening here in mid. And the chase will continue. Zap going to miss. Is Kellen just going to hug the wall here and be able to get away?
Oh, you trade a little bit back there as Dplus, but you're not going to be happy with that because all the gold goes into the Jinx. Miyushi, so the second Drake might be very hard to fight for because the bot lane of Dplus hasn't backed yet. That's a pretty big spike to be behind, although Canyon did pick up his Gore Drinker, and Showmaker also coming off a fresh base. I'm going to take control of the river here. Yeah.
Faker picking up Exhaust as the hook gonna land here onto the Rakan. Ignite in as they back away, and Kellen goes straight into a charm. As here is the Exhaust. Oner, though, has the Crescent Guard, but still, inside of it, is going to get taken out. Showmaker and depth extremely low, but Faker has to go into a stopwatch and will actually elect to flash in the face of 3 members of DK, who will, at the end of the day, win the fight.
And that's a big moment. That was the type of equalizing play you're looking for. Now, while that fight went very well, do also note that Guma was just in bot lane, farming up. And that is the reason why you see, when you look at the gold, hasn't actually changed that much. It's still a 2k lead for T1. Dplus are trying to settle the Baron here. Showmaker will know now.
Yeah, TP coming in. Keria in a very awkward spot is just going to Hex Splash over the wall, say goodbye. I do not care about any of you. Zeus looking to get in there, but yeah, they're just disengaging. So T1, they just pick up the dragon anyway.
No, I'm not going to go in too deep on that one, but this starts off with Kellen getting tagged and then kind of catching the rest of T1 off guard. And even though he goes down immediately and it looks like a big risk initially, I think Canyon gets exhausted here, but he doesn't really care. All he cares about is getting the kick, which allows Showmaker and Depth to take him down. And then here, T1 getting caught a little bit off guard by the power Canyon, of course.
Already taking 2 turrets relatively early on in the game here.
Ooh, looks like Zeus might be going towards that fun new item that definitely wasn't in the game before, but has been added on the last patch.
According to every pro gamer, yes.
Yes. Cosmic Drive did gain a big change. It gives a ton of AP, now got 25 extra AP, while losing the health. But if you're Cannon, that extra AP is going to be feeling amazing, particularly with how easy it is to proc. As
nice little play from Faker. We all know that Faker kind of last year he was showcasing how to play Ahri. He's like, okay guys, you're supposed to get really aggressive and look for proactive charms, okay? And everybody kind of followed suit, but Faker does it best, in my opinion. So very happy to see him on the Ahri once again. He's actually going to be going for Banshee's Veil second. Very defensive item builds here from Faker.
Yeah, I actually think that he goes Banshee so he can play more aggressive.
Yeah,
right. Like
sense.
try and use the spell shields to look for offensive hooks. Also into Veigar Cage, I think it does give you a ton more playmaking potential if you can negate that. Also as cleanse right now, so
yeah,
really going in on that. One of the downsides of the T1 comp is that if they don't find a pick on one person, barring a flank, they can run into some issues as Canyon goes in.
Pretty confusing angle. See that Oner is right there, so Canyon just kind of kicks him away as over the wall they go. That's one way to catch the Jinx, as immediately Showmaker just presses R, and the gameplay is there. As the Crescent Guard not really going to help Oner, but the Lantern will. Very nicely placed, but absolutely a fantastic play here from the side of DK. The Showmaker will be fine. Has Merc Treads.
Really nicely done there by Dplus. They're able to get the turret, they're able to get the kill, and this brings the gold lead back to a more manageable 2K. It's Callan that clearly catches them off guard. We have Zeus heading towards the top half of the map. Faker was on the back, so T1 not seeing this one coming, but in the end, Yuma goes down. They lose the mid lane turret, which is definitely one of the more valuable ones, but I think they will still be able to contest for Drake, and these are the type of moments that Dplus is going to have to keep looking for if they truly want to take back control. One more Drake. T1 is sitting on soul point here, and there you can see. I do think that finding these type of plays as Dplus is extremely important, because otherwise T1 is just going to keep snowballing and snowballing. But it does mean that the flash is down for Callan here. Gumayushi still has his for this up-and-coming play.
Look at the attention being shown to the Chemtech Drakes. Gotta love it. As I was saying before, you know, unironically, this is actually a decent amount of value to both teams. As let's see who does pick it up here. Oner, kind of in a awkward spot, and I think they're just going to give it away, as Oner, fortunately, going to get hit by the side of that cage, and DK just push on in and take it away forcefully.
How her kit functions, how she really wants to get that that attack speed item, and also the scaling on her Q. So. But once you do finish it, she's still insane.
Oh, gonna hit the hook here on the Kellen, as he's just got a target on his back right now, as looks like he might survive. Another hook comes in, as Carrier just will not miss these today. Depth with no Featherstorm is gonna get Kuma excited as he takes down the kill. A charm gonna hit onto Canyon as T1 take a couple of kills and gets what's next. It's the T1 Baron.
And that is why you get excited when Carrier locks in fresh. He hit most of his hooks, even pre-Q-buffs when you went W-max. As it turns out, with more hooks, Carrier just keeps hitting him just as much. Yeah, and as anticlimactic as that might be what turns this game from a quite a close back and forth with, sure, T1 in the lead, but it not being insurmountable. Like, the positioning here from Carrier is such a... It's a bait, right? Like, it's looking like he's going for Canyon, and as a result, Callan walks up too far, and then this hook on Deft. Crucially, doesn't have his ultimate available, used it just there, and Yuma with the flash picks that one up. Faker and Oner are ready to dive in.
Let's take a look.
I
got Rakan. They had a ward over the wall, so I think they saw him run into the bush. Like, it wasn't entirely blind.
자요. 살기만은 바로 갈 수 있거든. 바로 가자.
We can do Baron. And, yep. Keria, as always, making the calls while hitting every hook. It's pretty good at this game. And now T1 doing what they do best. I wanted to see some placing Maelstroms. Like, I was really hyped when Kennen got picked, and now it's like, well, I just haven't seen him in this game yet. That's all I'm going to say is, Kellen goes in, the Lantern is there on Nagumo, but the cage is going to lock him down. And immediately he goes down and Samus is here now, but immediately Kana going to take him out. That's that counter pick you're seeing now, but the damage might just be too big. The wall is too heavy for the side of T1 as they're getting into that back line as deep as you possibly can. Kana not tanky enough. And guys, that's the end of the game. T1 just aced them in mid, and they will push for the victory.
That's gonna be it, and even with a perfect execution on Gumayushi there, doesn't have flash, can't get out, it doesn't matter. They escort Kennen out of the fight immediately, doesn't matter, right? The lead is too big, everyone on T1 is too fat, so even with taking down Gumayushi, it's not even close to enough. And Dplus.
Oh boy, insult to injury at this point as another hook, this time onto the Xayah. As down goes the Nexus, a 26-minute game to start off this series. T1 taking this one very seriously and did not waste any time of dispatching DK extremely quickly.
That is the #1 against the #2, by the way.